several days I've not gone live or uploaded a video, but I am well and I'm so grateful that you are here with me. I just wanted us to talk about teachability because I think it is something that is becoming not common. It is a very uncommon thing these days because people don't like sitting down one on one or maybe looking at their daily activities and sitting down and evaluating them and think through. Teachability has become something that is not so important because people have answers on their fingertips. Rely we rely mostly on our phones, on our computers. So when we are supposed to research on something or we are supposed to do something, we quickly go on our phones or our computers and Google away. But what if you were in a situation where, God forbid, you are not supposed to have all the technology, you only have you and you alone, but you are supposed to draw lessons of the things that are going on in your daily routine? How will you be prepared to have a teachable heart, to have a teachable spirit? How do you go about your daily routine, knowing that you are at any time supposed to learn something from people you meet, from incidences that will happen, and just be able to even use the same thing you learned to do something in future? So for once, teachability is the ability to learn from something. Like, you are able to learn from something and not just learn, but also apply the information or apply the knowledge that you acquire. Teachability is what gives us a sense of wisdom, because you don't just have the knowledge, but you are also able to apply the knowledge of what you are learning. Like, if I was to be able to know how to, for example, let me use the grooming. I know that I'm supposed to put on clothes. I know that I am supposed to put on decent clothes, but I go around walking half naked, showing some parts of the body that I'm not supposed to show. Yet I know that I am supposed to put on decent clothing. That is walking in a way that you seem arrogant and ignorant. But going ahead and applying the knowledge that I have and putting on decent clothes and walking around in a way that is acceptable to society and even to me myself, my inner conscience, that is wisdom. It is not just knowledge, it is wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge being applied. It is you taking what you know and making use of it. So here is a way you can learn every day. Like, make every day your learning experience from people, big, small, thin, fat, children, women, men. Learn from someone, learn from something you encounter, learn something. Learn even from the ants when they are from migration, learn from animals, learn from anything you are meeting today, learn from it. We tend to postpone our learning experiences. We tend to postpone what we are supposed to be doing, the right thing right now, and doing things that are not even supposed to be important. For example, if I was at a bank right now and there is a big queue, like you have to wait for maybe, let's say, 30 minutes before you are served. The first instinct that comes to mind is taking the phone and starting to scroll. I know it is relatable. Or you are in a supermarket waiting to be served. You are, I want to use examples that you can relate. It is very common nowadays that many people, even to the toilet, they go with the phone, that they don't even pay attention to how their body is responding. They are on the phone, they don't know how to even, how they are even feeling, like they may be feeling even discomfort, they are constantly on the phone. Like, we are not learning from our bodies, we are not learning from how our emotions are right now, we are not learning from people we meet, we are not learning from anything, because we are letting them pass us by while we scroll down. Problem of scrolling, the problem of screen time has really affected us that much that we even don't notice when our friends are talking to us. We don't even notice when a stranger is asking us to close that zipper. Maybe you are walking and the zipper came flying out. You didn't even know. A stranger is trying to correct you, to tell you, but you are so on phone. I met this guy on the street the other day. Sorry. I met this guy on street the other day. The zipper was, and he was so busy on phone, and there was another guy who was trying to talk to him until he tapped him on the shoulder like this. Is when the guy, like, who? It was something that should not be laughed at, but I hate to laugh because, yeah, I'm Maria, I have to laugh. But that shows that we are so taken in by technology that we seem like people who did not even invent the same technology anymore. The technology is so overpowering to us that we are not even able to, yeah, to do our basic activities. We are not even able to breastfeed well. We are concentrated on phone. We are not even able to cook a meal before it burns because we are concentrated on a phone. And we tend to have a ready answer or a ready excuse of what we were doing on phone, how much it was important that we passed the opportunity. So I'm sharing. I'm sorry for going in too much, but I want to share 3 ways in which you can find yourself being very ready to learn each and every time of the day. Number one, you have to prepare. There, there are just 3, and I'll be done. You have to prepare, like, know when you wake up in the morning what you are expecting. Like, for example, you wake up in the morning, if you are a 9 to 5 person like me, you know you have to go to work, you know the normal activities you're supposed to do. And then maybe if you are also like me, you have a 9 to 5 and also you have a side hustle, like a YouTube channel that I have, I'm doing right now. This is my side hustle. You have to know that you will have to learn something so that it goes into your YouTube channel or your side hustle. So preparing and knowing that you are supposed to do your job, and then other activities that you will be doing, who you will meet, and what you will do are the 2 most important things to prepare for. What are you supposed to ask the person you will meet? What can you do in the situations that you will be met with today. That is what you're supposed to how you are supposed to prepare when you start your day. Like, prepare, know that you are expecting to learn something, anticipate some wisdom, anticipate some knowledge. Let every day be a learning experience. When you anticipate, you are getting ready to learn. When you anticipate to learn, you are getting ready to know and to have a new knowledge of something. Number two is knowing, after you prepare, you have to anticipate, to contemplate, like you anticipate something and then meet, maybe you have met that person or you have seen a scenario already. You contemplate on that scenario, or you contemplate on the experience with that person, or you contemplate on what that person maybe answered after you talked. Contemplating is something that I have started by saying we don't have that time right now. We don't have time to contemplate. We don't have time to evaluate situations that we are going through right now. Like, nowadays, we are so busy, and what is making us busy is not even of importance. We are uselessly busy, and we let our time to fly by. We let our time to fly by, and then we later find ourselves regretting, we didn't do this, we didn't do this. What contemplating will help you do is you will be able to know who you met, what you did, what you learned, or what happened, and what can you learn from that. Like, what can you learn from that? Who do you go for in such a scenario? For example, I know you have people in your inner circle that you can go for when some information is not clicking very well. Who do you go for in such situations? Who can you trust to talk to, like when you are not understanding a situation or a scenario? Who do you go to? Contemplating will help you even understand your emotions. Contemplating will help you to understand your body. Contemplation will also help you understand even your future better, because you will know what can work for you. For example, if you have set goals that don't you don't think they are possible for now, contemplation will help you to break the goals down, like in small, doable goals that will be able to be done, like in a way that you will be able to enjoy. If you don't have a time to contemplate on your daily activities, your daily routines, time will be on autopilot. Like, you will be operating on autopilot, and everything will be going by, everything will be running by. You will not know what and when to change, because change is inevitable, yes, but there are times that change is voluntary. There are times that change is intentional. That moment when you choose to intentionally change your life, that moment when you intentionally choose to better your life, you may miss that specific turning point because you did not have time to contemplate on your life. Have time to evaluate your life. Have time to look at your life critically, and look yourself directly in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. Is this what you really want to be? Is this job what you really want? Is this activity what you really want? Like, everything you are doing, ask yourself if it is really what you want, and you will have an answer in inside you, you'll have an answer. Like, it is an intrinsic thing that happens with us when we are thinking for ourselves, when we are talking to ourselves. And I know that human beings, we are wired for safety. We are not wired for having critical, like having haywire situations. We are wired for safety. That is why most of us are very comfortable in the comfort zone when everything seems like it is cool, it is not bringing us drama. That is the point when we feel comfortable. That is the point when we plateau. We don't think more, we don't think ahead of what we are supposed to do. So sitting down, analyzing your life, contemplating seriously with intention, and evaluating your life will help you to make changes, will help you to learn from what mistakes you made. You will learn from whatever incidents that happened that day. Okay, and the last thing is application. So you have prepared. This is a daily thing. You are prepared to learn. That one we have covered. You have contemplated on what you have learned. That is like you have internalized what you learned. The last thing is now to apply the knowledge. And this is even for students. Everyone, this information is for you. Like, even if you are a student, if you are not able to apply that information, if you're not able to apply that mathematics concept, if you are not able to apply that science concept, if you are not able to apply, let's say, information, anything you learn, even in school, anywhere you learn, anywhere, if you're not able to apply the knowledge, it is useless. It is very, very useless. How do you apply your information? Ask yourself, how can this help me? Okay, I met this toxic person at work. I realized that I also maybe overreacted. How do I make sure that it will not happen the next time? I will not get out of place the next time. I will not maybe cross their path next time. Establish uh, establish a way that you will be able to work your way out from your problems so that the lessons will not keep recurring. Because the biggest problem with lessons, or the biggest problem with mistakes, is that they will keep on coming, they will keep on coming, they will keep on coming until that day when you will learn them. And by learning them, I mean when you will be able to put all the shit down and say, I'm done with this. If you are not able to get out of that, the problems will keep on coming, the lessons will keep on recurring. And for those who have watched this video up to this time, I want to give you a story. And I am a very, 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 I want to say I'm apologetic of how I handled this, but yeah, I have to say it because I think it will help someone out there. I found myself in a situation that I could not control myself. Like, there's a time in 2020, 2021, my brother we had started school in, I think it was in 2019. 2020 is the year he started. 2019 is the year he started first year in campus. And I'm like the one who is supposed to provide for this young man. I'm supposed to pay for school fees, I'm supposed to pay for rent. I was by then a housewife. Like, I was staying with my husband. With him, I don't have a job. I am in the house. I used to do some online jobs, but they were not sustaining. I he was providing, my husband was providing for the family, but I was supposed to provide for my brother, and maybe do some things. I really wanted to help around apart from helping my brother. So something happened that, apart from doing the online writing I was doing, I also wanted to start selling fruits. And when I started selling fruits, I had savings I had put apart. But I started and I thought, well, I want to expand this thing so that I can be getting some good amount. So I went to an app, an mobile loan app. And mobile apps, if you are aware, if you are in Kenya, mobile apps for loans are very expensive. They have very big interest rates. I started getting addicted to these mobile apps because anytime I would get to them and ask for cash, they would give you 5k, 10k. So I got used to it, that even when my brother wanted school fees, I remember I went to, that was when the problem started coming. I remember I went to 4 apps and got 10k, got 15k. Like, I got enough from the loans that I was able to pay my brother's school fees. Then payment times started coming and the fruit sales were not so good. I found myself defaulting. It was so hectic. They were calling nonstop. The calls were so nonstop that even at night at 2 a.m., they are calling. Like, they are calling. They are insisting. They are calling. They are calling you names when they text. They are calling relatives. They called my husband. They called everyone. I was so embarrassed. I was so shocked that, when you're getting into something, you don't know the consequences, you don't know how they react, you don't know how is their, like, how their debt collection. I didn't know how their debt collection program worked. I didn't know it was that hectic. I didn't know it was that embarrassing. But it really put me under a lot of pressure, and I went through a lot of hell. The interests were spiraling. Like, every day interest was increasing, every day interest, every day interest, every day interest. I reached a point that I was so tired, but again, I didn't have a way to pay because I was also embarrassed to ask my husband. By the time I was asking my husband for help, it was here. They were, the debts had accumulated so much. The interest was so high that I had to ask for help. It made my husband mad at me. Everyone who was being called was so mad at me because they were pestering them even during late night hours. So that experience made my full 2 years a living hell. It is a mistake that kept recurring because I had made the mistakes repeatedly. I had asked for the loans repeatedly. I made the mistakes day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. I am in 2024, and it is 2024 January, and I am still incurring the consequences I did in 2020. Like, I can't forget that experience very easily because it has taken my full 4 years. That is an experience that I cannot want for, even for an enemy of mine. Even if you are an enemy of mine, I cannot want that for you because it is something that will bring down your peace. It is something that will make you feel like less, very less of yourself. And I remember it is during those days that I started asking myself, what am I really? Who am I really? And during the past 2 years, I have started really learning about myself. And I can say it has helped me, because if it wasn't learning personal development, if it wasn't learning uh, to know really who I am or what do I really mean, taking that the Bible, reading and just knowing that God is there for me, talking to few people that I felt were comforting, it really helped me, because if it weren't for them, it would be very difficult. It would be a very hectic moment. Although it is, yes, lonely, they will be there for you to talk to, but it is not fair for someone just to carry their money and give you and to pay loans. And it is not even a practical thing. So it is something I have had to bear. It is something, it is a burden that I gave to my husband, and I feel so bad. I feel so bad. So keep learning. Don't let lessons come by and repeat and repeat. Don't let lessons come by and you don't have a chance to learn from them. Learn from them. Make sure that a lesson doesn't pass you 2 times, because if it continues, you will have to pay heavily. It is a hectic thing to think about. It makes me tear down, because my husband has gone through a lot because of me, because of my stupidity, because of thinking I was solving a problem easily. And it makes me remember John C. Maxwell. I'll have to, I think, yeah, John C. Maxwell, in his book, where he says, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose and learn. That book also really helped me. He says, losers don't lose because they focus on losing. No, they lose because they focus on just getting by. If your goal is to improve your life, don't focus on quick fixes. Go for the slow but steady strategies and keep working to get better. I was looking for a quick fix. I was looking for, how do I get the school fees for my brother quickly? I didn't really realize that I was making a bigger future problem. I didn't think of that. I was a stupid girl wanting to help a brother. I was a stupid wife wanting to help a brother. I didn't know that that thing would really affect my family that much. It has pained me for a very long time, that I feel like I have done this on paper. I have journaled about this thing for a very long time, but I have never got relief over it. I'm working away very far from home because I feel like I have an obligation to help my husband, because I feel like I'm the one who put him in that situation. I feel like I'm the one who is responsible for what he is going through right now. That's why I'm even working this far. I'm working very far from home. I am in another country, very far from my children, very far from my husband. It is very painful that it is very painful that I have to work this far. I think it is due to this that I just want to help my husband. I just want to work and work and work so that I can chip in. I can chip in and help him, because I feel like I messed his life up. I messed my husband's life up. I messed my family's life up. I can't go into details, but I feel like it is it is worth it. It is, I'm doing what is supposed to be done, though it is painful. It is painful that I cry of it every day, but I have to. Hey guys, I can't continue this video anymore. I have been Maria, and you have been awesome. You are always awesome. Let's see each other next time.